Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing this power strip from GaN. Full disclosure on this one, this came from the same people who sent me the projector to review. This is a product I did not pay for, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. However, let's go ahead and start the unboxing. So right here we have our GaN power strip. Comes in kind of a, I don't know what you call this, opaque plastic packaging. So you can kind of see and read everything, but not quite. Let's go ahead and pull that off and we can actually read everything that's going on here. You can see here it talks about the brand, and then 73 watts is their advertising. You have all of our features here with a 73 watt output. I don't know what GaN Power Tech is. A fast charging, overload protection. I imagine that's somewhat similar to surge protection, as well as multicolor options. They do have multiple colors available. And this is from Innfact. This is the GaN power strip. So, one nice feature that is actually kind of cool about this one is the cord on this. That also comes with a nice cable keeper, but this cord is 6 feet long. It's huge. So you can put this wherever you need it to go. As we can see here, we have 3 power outlets as well as 3 charging ports, 1 USB and 2 USB-C. However, not all of these are created equal. I will talk about this later in the video. Let's go ahead and look at the packaging here. Inside we do have a instruction guide. Kind of talks us through, that even gives us our power usage, things like that, what the advertisements are talking about, all that fun stuff. On our packaging here you can see everything is not in English. Most of it isn't. So let's break out our friend here, Google Translate. Alright, so we got our live translation starting here, and we can see GaN is so fast. Fast charge extension cable. And what does this say down here? Hashtag quick charge laptops can also be charged directly. Let's see, any other Chinese writing here? GaN, does that say fast? No, whoa, what? It's upside down. Try again. GaN is so fast. Over here on the side we can see that it says 73 watt output. Above that it says high power, and then below that we see GaN Power Tech. Next to it we see GaN Gallium. So are they using gallium metal in these? Interesting. And then it also says PD/QC fast charging. And that means fast, whatever is next to that. And then overload protection. Next to that says, above it says anti-overload. And then below here it says multicolor, and above that it says multicolor. On the back there is a ton of information. It talks through our power output. And heck, we can even see this little thing about Mac at the bottom. GaN is so fast, fast charging extension, cable origin, Taiwan manufacturing, date March 2021. So let's talk about power with this guy. So we have our 3 ports here. While these all put out 15 amps, 110 volt, whatever, regular electrical outlet, you won't have a problem with our 3 power outlets, but these chargers are different. So if we're using just this USB charger, it can put out 10 watts. The second charger can put out 18 watts, and the third charger can put out 65 watts. Now don't mix these two up. One can charge a laptop while the other one is going to be just cell phones at 18 watts. However, if you are using both of these ports, this one can only put out 18 watts while this one will put out 45. So this is still putting out its maximum wattage, but this at the 65 watts has been knocked down to 65. And then if you're using the USB and the 65 watt, it's the same 45 watt and still 10 watts. So these two are never affected, but this one will be docked if you are charging off of these two other ports. And then these two right here always run, even if you're running both on their own, 10 watt and 18 watts. And then lastly, we have, if you're using all three, that's how we get our 73 watts. We have our 10 watts from the USB, 18 from our first USB-C, and 45 from our other one, combined to make 73 watts of power output. You know, this is said to be able to power things like a Steam Deck, MacBooks, iPads, charge your cell phones, things like that, while your AC outlets can run devices up to 1650 watts. So that includes speakers, printers, TVs, monitors, lamps, coffee makers, things like that. Other nice features about this, it does have a reset. So if we do go over our power draw, this looks like it has a fuse that can be reset here. And then our plug here on the end, we can see this is not a standard plug. This is actually one at a 45-degree angle, and it's a flush mount. So you can put this behind a desk, behind a table, behind a couch, wherever you need to. It's not gonna stick out a whole ton like other plugs do. Also being at a 45-degree angle, if there are other things plugged in, it doesn't interfere with those. So that'll be a nice feature. Let's go ahead and plug this guy in, and we'll just plug in my phone and see how it reacts to the charging. All right, so we're gonna start by plugging into our USB outlet here in the middle, or our USB-C outlet. Plug it into my phone. We're charging. It does show fast charging will be full in 55 minutes. I'm at 40% battery. So if we now unplug that and we go over to our other one, that's also fast charging and the same 55 minutes. So my phone does have a maximum charging, both charging at about 18 watts. However, it does advertise that it can run 65. So let's go ahead and check out our USB, and then I'll come back with a laptop here in a minute and we can test that out. It has been a minute since I've used a USB to USB-C charging cable. So let's go ahead and had to find one. So let's go ahead and test this out. This one shows definitely charging slower. We're at just charging rather than fast charging. This will be an hour and 20 minutes till full instead of the 58 minutes till fully charged. We do see an obvious difference between our USB and USB-C. This would be really useful, especially if you're like at a desk in an office and you can set this up on your desk. You operate from something like a MacBook. You can plug in your MacBook to this far outlet and then have your phone in the other one, have other devices that maybe charge via USB plugged into there, and then you can have like a monitor plugged in here, and then you have two other outlets for whatever else you might need. Or you can mix and match and throw things around, but this does help with space savings. On top of a desk, you can just throw this up there and you're set to go. Let's go ahead and find a laptop and put this to the test now. We'll be right back. So I'm gonna interrupt the video here. Things went a little sideways. I didn't have a good tool to measure how much watts this power strip is putting out. And so I was just taking estimates, trying different things, comparing one to the other, and I didn't understand that there's so many things, like not all chargers are made equal. If you go back to my previous video where I actually did a review on a charging cable, you will see that not all chargers are made equal. Just because it's a 45 watt charger doesn't mean it's gonna push 45 watts. Or a 100 watt charger means that it's always gonna be able to push 100 watts. Some devices will take it, some won't. And it's gonna just vary depending on the device, which is really weird, but that's just something to take into consideration. So, I've actually gone back, I've done tests. The whole reason I got that USB-C cable with a little wattage output display on it is because of this. I was trying this and I was like, this is, I don't know, like why would a brand send me this and then like it's not what they said it was? And after talking to the brand, they're like, hey, you know, that doesn't quite match up. We don't know the best way to tell you how to like test it, but it definitely meets those standards. And sure enough, I have done tests and it meets those standards. It does. So I actually have 2 videos here. I'm gonna shorten them for you, but one is it charging my cell phone. And you're gonna see as it gets to different charge levels, it actually receives different amount of watts. So if you see here on my phone, it charges faster and faster and faster, but or just charges up, but the wattage changes as it goes, and then as you get close to the full charge, it goes down again. And then we have like my ElectJet power bank here, and it charges the exact same way, where actually it is one of the only devices I have that when I plug in my 100-watt power bank that actually came with it actually draws 100 watts, and my little charging cable shows that in the previous video. Yeah, that's real. It literally is charging at 99 watts right now. But running off of this, it actually ran 65 watts through a lot of it, but then there was other times where it's like, hey, I need to cool down, so it would actually cut the wattage down to like 4 or 5 watts and then come right back up to 65 watts. So that's just something to take into consideration of like, hey, not all devices charge at exactly 100 watts the whole time. It actually is a progressive speed and ramp. What it is they're actually protecting the batteries themselves, because if you send all of the power into it all at once, they'll overheat, the lifespan on them gets totally destroyed. So this puts out that wattage but doesn't overdraw. In my example here, I was about to do my laptop here, so we're gonna go ahead and plug in this this charging cable to our 65 watt port, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring my laptop back in here, and I can show you right here, right now. It's pulling 64 watts. So yeah, it's pulling 65 watts. I don't know why it was behaving all funny in my previous recording, but there you go. Like, I just barely turned the laptop on, plugged it in, it's pulling 64 watts, charging just fine. When I plugged it into a 100-watt adapter, it still was only pulling 65 watts. So this laptop does only pull up to 65 watts anyway. So this will run your laptop. And then if we switch over to our other port, this is supposed to be our 18-watt port. We plug it in, and oh, that's funny. It's actually pulling 20 watts. We got 20 watts getting sent to it, even though it says it's only 18. 2 watts of difference is often negligible from what I've seen in a lot of the other tests I did on this originally in the previous video. If you want to see that video, I'll link it up here for you. But yeah, it pushes, pulls, sends 65 watts. And I've done multiple tests where we have charged my phone from completely dead. I literally like let my phone die, go to 0% battery, plugged it in here, plugged it into my phone, and we're able to see, hey, what it actually does and how much power it pulls. The whole process is same with my battery bank here. Did the exact same thing where I plugged it in from completely dead and watched it charge all the way to full. I think because it's not 100 watts, it's 65, it took like 40 minutes instead of like 20, and then it charges as they say it does. So there you go. Last thing I want to touch on before we kind of wrap this up and call it a video, the brand on this is actually Innfact, while GaN is actually referring to a metal. So GaN is not GaN, it's Gallium Nitride. So what they're advertising here is Galium Nitride, and that's significant and advertisement worthy because it is like a leading metal. So I'll just read to you what, if you go to epc-co.com, they have a whole article on gallium nitride used in things like this, semi-conductors and electronics. So gallium nitride is very hard, mechanically stable, wide band gap semiconductor, which has a higher breakdown strength, faster switching speeds, higher thermal conductivity, lower on resistance. Power devices on gallium nitride significantly outperform silicone-based devices. So basically highlighting, breaking down that it's more efficient, more effective, faster, and just better in almost all ways than its silicone counterparts. So gallium nitride is kind of like the future of semiconductors. I know that silicone is a lot of the semiconductors that, you know, the reason behind the name Silicon Valley and all that stuff, but gallium nitride is another way that's starting to prove that it's better. So that's why they use gallium nitride, and they advertise it, and they're able to run 73 watts of, you know, these outlets rather than just a couple of like lame-o outlets. You got solid power here. With that being a newer technology, it is a little bit pricier of a power strip. If you're looking at just a power strip or a surge protector, you can find really cheap ones at Walmart and on Amazon in general. But if you want something that's next level, that's gonna run high speed, run more efficiently, and it sounds like they're probably gonna last and be more reliable longer, this is one to consider. And not only that, but it also comes with this extra long 6-foot charging cable that also has the flush mount, so you can plug it in anywhere without taking up a whole bunch of space and getting in the way. It has a lot of really great selling points that I think the seller is really understating. But that's what we're working with, is gallium nitride is really cool. And you know, if you are of the modern generation and you want to use fancy colors, here on Amazon, you see they have a whole selection of colors here, from black, greens, grays, whites, with a gray cord, white, and what is the difference between these two? Why is this one 29? What a good deal. Oh, it's a 36 watts, so it doesn't put out as much power. It's got two USB, two of the 10 watts, and then a 18 watt, which, you know, if you're not looking to charge a MacBook, you know, you can save yourself a whole lot. These are expensive at $60.99. When I first started making this video, they were actually quite a bit cheaper. I'm gonna talk to the brand and see if we can find you guys a good deal. If so, I'm gonna go ahead and leave in the description below, right underneath the link for this product, I'll have a coupon code. If you put that code in at checkout, you will get a discount to getting a more reasonable price on this awesome next level power strip. I sound like I'm selling this, but it's actually performing as well as they said it was, and it's using some really cool new technology. So I kind of understand why they are excited about it, and I can see where they're coming from. So if you're in the market for the next level, the newest generation of power strips, check out this guy, a GaN 73 watt power strip. If you have questions about this power strip or anything else I've talked about in this video, leave those in the comments below. If you have suggestions for a future video, I will very much appreciate it. Leave those down as well in the comment section. If you want to get this power strip or almost anything else that I've used in my videos, I'll have those linked down below. If you don't see it right away, go ahead and go to my link tree. You can find my Amazon store as well. And in my Amazon store, I try to have almost everything. If you can't find it, again, in the comment section, I try to be really good about replying to all my comments. So if you want to help finding something, I can help you with that as well. I am an Amazon affiliate, so using those Amazon links do help to support this channel with no additional cost to you. If you think I've earned it, please consider subscribing. And in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video.